How can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing you.
Shift your career into high gear with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. They're hiring a service and parts advisor and a lube tech, and they want you on their team. You'll get competitive pay, full-time hours, health insurance, a 401k, and plenty more benefits, all while working with the crew that keeps the tri-state area moving. So don't idle. Apply today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Your next career is waiting right there under the hood.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Coming to you with NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. The other day, we talked to Jessica from Sherman County Community Development of Goodland, Kansas, about the Flatlanders Festival and what's going on Friday in that event.
Registration does open for the Weekend on the Bricks car show, and that registration will be from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., and that will be down at the USC 352 Admin Building at 1311 Main Street. To about 5:30, we're going to have some live music. The Jimmy D Band and Fabulous Destination will be there. We'll also have a free barbecue sponsored by Sherman County for the first 600 people in attendance. The Colorado Smokin' Butts will be there, bringing their barbecue trailer.
For these stories and more area news, go to nwksradio.net for more.
Today will be sunny with light winds from the south-southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures will be slightly above normal, with highs reaching into the upper 70s to around 80. Tonight, skies will remain clear under high pressure. Southwesterly winds will stay light or less than 10 miles per hour, and lows will be in the upper 40s to low 50s with some patchy fog possible. Tomorrow, expect mostly sunny skies with highs a few degrees warmer, reaching in the 80 to 85 degree range. Conditions will stay quiet overnight with lows around 50. Over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, a split flow aloft will keep weather pattern quiet and dry with slightly above normal temperatures, highs in the upper 70s and low 80s, and lows in the lower 50s. Monday and Tuesday, a low-level jet will bring breezier southerly winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, and there is a slight chance for some widely scattered showers or a rumble of thunder, with lows in the mid to upper 40s. This meteorologist Chris Schrumick in the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas. serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
As kids head back to school, it's the perfect time to get your home and yard ready for fall. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Colby and Goodland, they've got you covered. From all-season ultimate fertilizer and building materials to cozy patio heaters and furniture. Fire up family meals with a Traeger grill or Blackstone griddle and give your home a new look with Benjamin Moore paints. Whatever your project, big or small, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware is here to help. That's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Your community, your projects, your ace. Shift your career into high gear with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. They're hiring a service and parts advisor and a lube tech, and they want you on their team. You'll get competitive pay, full-time hours, health insurance, a 401k, and plenty more benefits, all while working with the crew that keeps the tri-state area moving. So don't idle. Apply today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Your next career is waiting right there under the hood.
Convenience just got an upgrade. Farmers State Bank of Oakley is excited to announce the opening of our brand new ATM along Highway 40, right next to Sonic Drive-In. Whether you're grabbing a snack or on the go, you can quickly access your cash without the detour. It's banking made easy, right where you need it. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
You ready? One, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit! Here comes McMahon, he'll score! Ball game!
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakland.
Let's go to work. In the ninth last night, here's a weak tapper to second. Rocchio, book it. The path to October is clear. The Guardians are alone atop the American League Central Division standing.
Plants her feet, swings, cross court. And great dig by Cochran. Free ball over. What a rescue. Again, Nebraska. Set middle back. Harper. Kaboom! Wow. Howitzer Harper. 5-4.
Fly ball to right field. Number 60. A catcher has hit 60 home runs. Your MVP moment, Cal Raleigh.
And good Thursday morning, everybody. We are off and rolling here on this September the 25th. A nice, cool fall start to the day. 49 degrees outside the KKCI studios here in Goodland. How's it going today, Connor? Connor's sporting a new look this morning. He's went with the mustache and the short haircut. I mean, I tell you what, Connor, it's like multiple different looks for you. You know, you got lots of different looks, and this is a new one we're all getting introduced to today.
You'll learn that I like to switch things up quite often. I don't know what it is. But it's between this, the long hair, sometimes a goatee, sometimes nothing. You never know.
Yeah, he's so this morning, once again, get to the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. You can see Connor's haircut and his mustache. So it's a whole new look for him. We're the many faces of Connor Schuh is what we're going to use to see here over the next few weeks and months. How's it going this morning? You doing well?
I am doing incredible. The Guardians are in first place in the AL Central, so things couldn't be better. See it right here.
Yeah, I know. Your Guardians have come all the way back from 15 game? Is that what it was? 15
back I think in August at one point it was 15.5, but 9.5 games made up in the month of September. So I think that's the big one.
I was thinking last night when I saw that, I was thinking, is this like the biggest collapse in Major League Baseball history? It has to be something close to that.
It is. Statistically, that is, I think that's officially the most games back a team has come back from in the span of a month and 2 months for the 15.5. It's nothing has ever happened like this before.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, really think about the run the Tigers have been on since, what was it, kind of the end of last year? I mean, almost a full calendar year, the run that they had been on. And it just seems like all that magic that they had is completely, the Tigers have returned. Here they are.
These are the Tigers we're used to for the past like 7 or so years, because they were, man, at the beginning of this season, there was a point, I think they were up by 20 games at like the 80 game mark, maybe. And after that, the second half has just been awful for them. Like, everyone went cold. Everyone forgot how to pitch except for Scooble, who still can't get them wins against the Guardians. It's weird stuff.
It's very odd, no doubt about it. And the Guardians doing this with a bunch of guys, once again, not a lot of people know. Besides Jose Ramirez, there's not a lot of people names that people know on the team currently. It's kind
some
of a
people know
squad.
Stephen Kwan.
Yeah, Stephen Kwan, I guess, is a good one. But, I follow baseball decently well. But past Stephen Kwan and Ramirez, and I do know Kyle Manzardo because he's on my fantasy team, and I like the name Manzardo. You kind of look like Manzardo today a little bit.
The mustache. But I think he's got a little more hair.
Yeah, maybe yesterday if you would have shaved the mustache, you look more like Manzardo. But
yeah,
I don't know. Interesting. Also, the Central is now in the hands of the Guardians. The Mariners win the West yesterday with the win over the Rockies. First time since 2001. It's been 24 years. Wow. It's been a long time for the Mariners. I think I'm going to change my pick. If my Diamondbacks don't make the postseason, which last night a loss to the Dodgers, they had it. They could have won it. They came back. They were down. They could have won it in extras. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, and they had 2 pop-ups. Could have won it in the bottom of the 10th and said lost in the 11th. Hard. But if they don't find a way, and the thing that sucks the most about that, Connor, is that the Reds and the Mets both lost. There's an opportunity to tie for that final spot.
So at least they didn't win and you lost. That would have really put you in the basement. So
yeah, I mean, I guess, but still, there was an opportunity there that you needed to take advantage of. But nonetheless, if they don't, I'm going for the Mariners and the big dumper, 60 home runs. You said 60.
That's
I think
insane.
we're going more.
He's got a
63, maybe.
He would break Judge's record in the AL. So if he hit 63,
I think 63 is within reach. We've still got 4 series left. There's a great chance he does one against the Rockies again, because who doesn't do it against the Rockies?
He's got a shot.
I think 63 is within reach.
I mean, he'd have to hit 3 in 4 games. So
yeah,
it would be tough, but it's against Rockies pitching.
He hit 2 last night. I don't know. I think that'll be just fine. But anyway, a little baseball chit chat here to get the show going. We got plenty to get to in today's program. We will dive into our NFL Power 5 coming up here in just a bit. We'll talk some local sports today, some volleyball, and there is a football game, a local football game tonight. There's some golf and cross country happening as well. By the way, congratulations, Colby Community College volleyball, with the win last night over Barton, the number 12 team beating the number 8 team and the top 2 teams of the Jayhawk Conference inside the event center. That was a 5-setter. Went the distance. A back and forth deal. Colby takes set 1 by 2. They lose set 2 by 5. They take set 3 by 4. Then they lose set 4 by 2, only to win 16-14 in set 15. Took a little extra work there, but they get it done. And the Trojans have now won 4 straight. They're 6-0 in conference play, 14-4 overall. They host Seward County, but a huge win. I think they needed this to maybe get their confidence up, knowing that they could beat a really good ranked team, and they get it done against Barton at home. So congratulations.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. They kind of, maybe not needed, but it was good to get that feather in their cap. I don't think they'd had maybe like 1 or 2 ranked wins coming into this one, but good handful of losses to them. So, hey, that's a big one, especially with a team in conference.
Very nice win for the Lady Trojans last night over there at the event center. Today we'll also be visiting with Henry Chisholm of DNVR Broncos, talking some NFL and the Denver Broncos in their interesting start to the season through the first 3 weeks. So, yeah, we'll get to all that coming up in today's program. As always, the FNB Bank text line is open at 785-899-2222 if you want to join us for the program. We'd love to hear from you throughout the show. Shout out to listener Jared. Appreciate him listening and all of his friends that he resides over that we learned about yesterday in the meeting. Shout out to those listeners. Appreciate that. So, yeah, we got lots to get to here on a Thursday show. So let's get cracking with the NFL Power 5. All right, we always start with our honorable mention. Where do you go with the game that has your eye that maybe most people don't? Does it have to do with the Browns? That's my guess.
I wasn't going to, but you said it. So now you're provoking me. So I will say the Browns and the Lions. I mean, this is a classic game of teams that, well, in some cases used to be bottom dwellers together. The Lions and
True.
Browns
divisions.
Big oil, like just hardworking towns of teams that have just sucked throughout the years. The Lions have taken the step. The Browns, not really. But we beat the Packers last week. Who's to say that the Browns can't beat another NFC North power? Anything can happen. So that's my honorable mention.
Yeah. I don't know. The Lions untapped something the last couple of weeks after getting beat by Green Bay. Not take anything away from the Browns. The Lions look to be on a mission a little bit here. I don't know if the Browns can match up, but we'll see. Maybe it is a good game. We've seen the Browns take down one of the better teams, we think, at least here recently. I'm on a mention game. I'm interested in the Chargers at the Giants. Yes, this should be a blowout win for the Chargers, but I admit I'm interested. Jackson Dart gets his first ever start for the New York Giants in the regular season. Look, can he be a lot worse than what the Giants are? I was going through some numbers, and the Giants offensively, 17.3 points per game. They are the 27th. They rank 27th in offensive points per game. You have to score points in order to win. I mean, unless your defense is just going to be absolutely elite. And their defense, by the way, is the worst in football, at least in yards allowed, 32nd in professional football. So they need to find a way to put points on the board. Maybe Jackson Dart does it. I mean, it can't be a whole lot worse than Russell Wilson throwing the football at the back of the end zone multiple times. So, Jackson... They're 6.5-point dogs. The Chargers are playing hardball football. So hardball football. So yeah, they've got a lot of things going for them, but I'm interested in Jackson Dart.
It's surprising that they're that low on the points per game chart after they dropped 37 in week 2. So that just tells you that how big of an anomaly that was. That's something else.
It's not good. Not good, but that's my honorable mention game. All right, we're on to the Power 5 and number 5.
Number 5.
I have the Vikings and the Steelers. So, why, you might ask? I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz is starting this week. Not sure about the health of J.J. McCarthy at this point, but everyone talks about how Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer. We've talked about it on this show. Sam Darnold last year. Even you can go all the way back to anybody who started for this team in the past few years. I mean, it was a little different with Kirk
Josh Dobbs.
I guess Josh Dobbs. I mean, he won them some games. Nick Mullins, even.
Nick Mullins.
Want to go a little deeper, but Carson Wentz looked not too bad. They didn't ask him to do a whole lot last week, but he did what was necessary and distributed the football to playmakers. Didn't turn the ball over and was solid. And I will always believe in Carson Wentz and his potential. He could have been the MVP if he stayed healthy back in 2016 when they won the Super Bowl. Who knows what would have happened if he stayed healthy? There wouldn't have been the magic of Nick Foles, but we're talking about today right now. And Wentz and the Vikings, who are off to a really nice start this season, they play the Steelers, who are trying to prove themselves with Aaron Rodgers. And it's been, I think you could say, up and down so far. So can the Steelers defense get it done? Can Aaron Rodgers get it done against a really good Vikings defense? I mean, it's something about how they play the game. They disguise so many different looks. I think I saw a play from last week where they changed their coverage 3 different times in one play just to throw off the opposing offense. And It's going to be a struggle for old man Rodgers, I think.
This game's, by the way, in Dublin, Ireland, by the way.
Yeah.
Bad juju for the team who loses this game. I mean, look what happened to Kansas State just a month or so ago. So don't lose this game.
You might not win again.
You might not win again. My number 5 on the Power 5 here today goes to Cowboys and Packers. Now, once again, the Packers should win this game easily, but it's for the storylines that I like this game. Once again, it is Micah Parsons returning to the place that he had his great early success there in Jerry's world. And there's old man Jerry sitting up there on the perch. By the way, have you happened to watch that Netflix show with Jerry Jones, Jerry and his Cowboys?
I've seen clips, and it's sad. Like, he's an awful dude.
It's fascinating. He's an interesting guy, no doubt about it, and probably getting more senile as we go along here, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
nonetheless, I got to see what happens with this. I mean, if the Packers come and just blow the doors off the Cowboys, I mean, Jerry is going to be in a bad spot. But can you imagine if the Cowboys find a way to win this game?
Man,
Jerry will be
They're going to the Super Bowl.
Probably. They're 7-point dogs at home in the NFL are the Cowboys. Their offense is not great. Although Javonte Williams, former Broncos, looked decent at a running back spot at times. So I have liked that spot. CD Lamb is not going to be available. He's out. So this should be a Packers win. But can you imagine if the Cowboys win? Oh my, Jerry! It'll be like as if he did win the Super Bowl because he's like, I can stick with the man.
Yeah, it justifies the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. All right,
The Power 5, number 4.
I'm liking Bears at Raiders. It's not a very glamorous matchup, but you saw each of these quarterbacks air it out last week. Caleb Williams put up 4 touchdowns in last week's game. Geno put up 3 touchdowns and nearly 300 yards through the air on the Raiders side. So I'm looking at this one solely from an entertainment factor. There's not really a big overarching storyline with this one, but I think it's going to be a fun watch. There's going to be a lot of points scored. Neither of these teams have particularly good defenses. I think the Bears actually have the worst in the league so far statistically, or at least one of them. So Geno's going to be airing it out. Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Trey Tucker, who had 3 touchdowns last week and over 100 yards. Look out for him. He's a guy who a lot of people are picking up on the waiver wire in fantasy. So a lot of speed in that matchup. I think Rome Odunze is going to get a lot of work on the Bears side as well. And Caleb and Geno are just going to be chucking it deep all night.
Good question. Are you buying Bears stock as we sit here right now today?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
Just not they need to improve on the defensive side of the ball and get more consistent on offense, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. My number 4 game, it's tonight's game, the Thursday night football game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Tonight, the Cardinals host the Seahawks. Both teams 2-1. This is a chance for the winner to put themselves in a great position to begin this season in a good spot in the NFC West, in the leader spot. By the way, shout out to both teams on great defenses. Top 5 defenses when it comes to points allowed. The Seahawks allowing 16 points per game, and the Cardinals, surprisingly, allowing just 17 points per game. And the Seahawks with Sam Darnold, the 5th best offensive points production at 29.3 points per game. When you've got a team that has a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense when it comes to points scored, you're doing something right. But as I've said before on this show, I love watching Kyler Murray. 4 touchdowns and a pick for over 500 yards so far, which is behind Sam Darnold in yards, but his creativity in the pocket is great. What does Arizona do without James Conner at the running back spot? He had a bad injury. He's out for the year. By the way, Colorado State tight end Trey McBride, one of the big weapons of the NFL that no one talks about. Fantastic
really
tight
good.
end. So, yes, I like this. You're going to watch this game, and I think you're going to see a lot of guys that you remember in college. You know, what is the guy? What's Walker's first name? The running back for the Seahawks. He was
Kenneth Walker.
Sorry, Kenneth Walker
Michigan
was
State.
at Michigan State. Jackson Smith-Njigba was at Ohio State. You're going to see some guys that you knew in college for both these teams, even though these teams kind of get forgotten about on the West Coast. But I think this might be a good game. Cardinals Seahawks there for number 4 on my NFL Power 5. All right, moving on.
Number 3.
Quick stat note, I think in Njigba it was the most yards in a Rose Bowl game ever. back.
He did. Yes, that was a ridiculous performance.
Yeah, but that was insane. Just wanted to throw that out there. But
he did.
My number 3 pick, this is a 2 years removed playoff matchup. So before the Eagles went on their Super Bowl run, the year before, they got bounced in their only playoff game by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a score of 32-9. Baker and company took care of business. These teams met last year, and the Bucs won in Week 4 over the Eagles, and they play once again on Sunday. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Can Baker do anything with this Eagles defense that is much different than it was 2 years ago when they beat them in the playoffs? Can Jalen Hurts do stuff against a solid Buccaneers defense? And can they, I don't know, air the ball out a little more? Because, of course, they've still been so good this year, and they did what they needed to do last week against the Rams in that improbable comeback, but it kind of showed they're human on the defensive side of the ball. They can let some stuff go. So can Baker take advantage and take care of business against the Eagles? I don't know. We'll see. And I just love watching Baker play anyway. And the Eagles offense is just, it might not be the most fun watch, but they get stuff done.
Yeah, they're efficient. They're efficient.
Yes.
More on this game later. My number 3 game, I am going with the Bengals at the Broncos, Monday Night Football. Two teams that, honestly, we got to find out where they sit. We're going to learn about both of these teams going into this game, I think. We're going to learn that the Bengals, as we know, are not a good defensive team. I mean, they are allowing 30 points per game. If the Broncos offense is to find its footing and get going in the right direction, this would be the game to do it in. You're facing a bad defense, get some confidence going. Defensively, the Denver D has not been as dominant as you thought. You think they'd be probably a top 5 defense. They're middle of the pack when it comes to points allowed at this point in time and yards allowed per game. They're actually in the bottom of it, around 23rd. So the defense has not been great for the Broncos, as many people thought, at least statistically. So it's not been great. The Bengals offense, of course, I don't know what happened. What happened between the first? Jake Browning got thrown into the fire when Burrow got hurt. Then he had a full week to get prepared, and he looks worse. So I hope they got somebody else ready to go this week, so then they just throw him in and he's better.
Browning's a gunslinger, man. He just, for better or worse, I mean, he made some nice throws between those 2 weeks, but he was turning the ball over quite a lot.
But I guess the Broncos have to, if this is a get right game for Denver, I would think, if they just go out there and they play well. If they don't and they struggle, I think we're going to find out that the Broncos are not the team who we thought they could be when the season began. Simple as that. This should be Broncos are 7.5-point favorites at home, which, by the way, pretty big spread in the NFL.
Huge.
For that. All right, moving on to the top 2.
The Power 5. Number 2.
I'm going to stay on my Daniel Jones soapbox like I have for the past couple of weeks and say Colts at Rams. I mean, the Colts have been incredible for these first few weeks. They've only punted, I think, once in these first 3 games.
It's true. They've only punted once.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't really happen, and especially people didn't expect that to happen with a Daniel Jones-led team, but they're doing it, and they're just proving it more and more week by week. He's looked really efficient, and he's leading the second-best offense in the league in terms of points per game. But they haven't really faced that really good opponent yet. They faced the Broncos in week 2, and they took care of business. And what some may call a controversial ending with the leverage penalty, some people think that was stupid, but it's a penalty, and stuff like that happens.
It was called.
This is their first really good team. They faced the Rams, and the Rams are coming off that back-breaking loss to the Eagles where they were up plenty before letting things go and eventually getting walked off, I think, on that Jordan Davis field goal block return, which was just incredible. And so the Rams are probably just they've got a fire under them coming into this week. You don't want to get embarrassed again, and you don't want to be a part of the teams that are just getting wrecked by Daniel Jones and company. So can their defense hold up and stop the story of Daniel Jones and the Colts, or can the Colts keep it going? And is Daniel Jones really that guy?
You know what? It's a complete oversight by me. I didn't even put it in my top 6. It's a complete oversight. I know it's a complete oversight by me. I think I'm just so used to the Colts stinking so bad that I forget that they're actually good. I think that was what probably happened. It's like, the Rams will stomp the Colts. I'm not going to do that. And I forget the Colts actually played good this year at this point. Can Daniel Indiana? I would agree. This is no doubt a top 5 game. An oversight by me. Great game, great pick. It should be a good one. If both teams play up to their potential. My number 2 game is one you mentioned, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. The quarterback matchup. Can Baker Mayfield continue to do this? I mean, think about it. He's pulled out 3 wins out of his you-know-where these first 3 games. He's pulled them out. I mean, it's not like the Bucs have been dominant. I mean, they have just gotten it done. Can you do it against the Eagles, who once again are probably the most complete football team in the NFL right now? That's the question I have going into this game. I don't know. 3.5-point spread. Eagles on the road, the favorites. Like I said, I think this game is really good, and you said it good. 2 good quarterbacks, but I'm interested in Baker Mayfield, and can he go out and figure this out? I'm fascinated with that. So yeah, that is my number 2 is Eagles and Tampa Bay. All right, I have a feeling we're all leaning the same direction.
The Power 5, number 1.
Yeah, this one kind of speaks for itself, as you just alluded to. This is the Chiefs and the Ravens. They have had so many classic matchups throughout the past few years. A lot of great battles between Lamar and Mahomes. You think back to the conference championship back in 2023, and that one was a low-scoring game, 17-10 in favor of the Chiefs, and of course they won the Super Bowl that year. But can the Chiefs overcome their offensive woes and do it against the Ravens? Because even against the Giants, they figured some things out, but they still didn't look all that great against a Giants team that's just not really that good. But the Ravens defense hasn't really been that great this year either. They've been fairly underwhelming and have really had to rely on Lamar a lot. And I guess you could say these are 2 teams who have both underwhelmed. They're both 1-2, and I don't think anyone would have thought that coming into this season. But the records are what the records are. But I think we can safely assume these are probably 2 teams that are due for some progression record-wise as the season goes on. But getting this game will definitely help for either side. And an interesting stat for you. So the Ravens are first in the league in points per game with 37, and they are second worst in football with points allowed. They allow 32 points per game. Wow.
Interesting. Yeah, but worst in the league. 32 points per game. They have the best offense and yet one of the worst defenses in all of the NFL to the Ravens. So it's definitely an odd deal. You would thought that maybe the defense would be a little bit better considering the talent they have on that side of the ball. It's just not been the case. The Chiefs, on the other hand, have the 21st ranked offense, which is a surprise, and they do have a top 10 defense, which is not. It's not a good stat when you look at who are the Chiefs' top passers and top rushers, and it's the same person. You don't want Patrick Mahomes beating your leading rusher. That is not good. But the stat that stands out the most about this game and why it's the most intriguing is because of the loser. Whoever loses this game is 1-3 to start the year. And who would have thought at the beginning of the year that the Ravens and the Chiefs would be 1-3 through the first 4 games of this season? No one would have predicted that, I feel like. So that's why it's my number 1.
Could be a real turning point for either team.
Could be. Boy, it's a huge game. Huge game. Massive game. And that is Sunday night, I believe. If I'm not. Nope, Sunday afternoon. Sorry, Sunday afternoon.
How is that not a night game?
CBS. Yeah, I was going to. It's the Chiefs. They're always on at night or prime time, it seems like. So, or a holiday. Take your pick.
Yes.
All right, that will do it. They become the new Cowboys. They're either in prime time or the holiday. Take your pick. So there you go. The NFL Power 5 here for week number 4. All right, we got to get to break. Henry Chisholm's going to join us next to talk a little Denver Broncos football and some NFL as well. That's next here on the Morning Blitz.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Alice Cooper. And Judas Priest. The godfather of shock rock. Alice Cooper. The metal gods, Judas Priest. October 8th, Intrust Bank Arena with special guest Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at selectaseat.com. Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, together in concert.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tyler Ghosh with the Andersons in Overland Park, Kansas with your morning market update. It is Thursday, September the 25th. Overnight sessions have commodities set to open higher. December corn up 3 cents at 4.27 and a quarter. The March is up 3 and a quarter at 4.44 and a quarter, and the May is up 3 cents at 4.53 and a quarter. Beans on the Nove are up 6 cents at 10.15. The Jan is up 5 3/4 at 10.34 and a quarter. The March is up 5.5 cents at 10.50 and a quarter. Kansas City wheat on the Dees is up 5 3/4 at 5.12 and a half. March is up 5 cents at 5.33 and a quarter, and the May is up 5 cents at 5.47 3/4. Chicago wheat on the Dees is up 5.5 cents at 5.25. The March is up 5.5 cents at 5.43 and a half, and the May is up 4 3/4 at 5.54 3/4. S&P 500 is down 36 points at 6,656. The Dow is down 159 points at 46,282. Nasdaq down 177 points at 24,561. Crude oil is down 43 cents a barrel at $64.56. Gold is down 10 cents an ounce at $3,768, and silver is up 67 cents an ounce at $44.87. If you have any cash grain you'd like to move or want to learn more about our freedom pricing tools, reach out and give us a call. You can reach myself, Tyler Ghosh, Jared Law, or Tom Saludo at 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, give John Hankey or John Stiles a call at 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
At Hogemeyer, our pride is homegrown. We are right here to serve these families and fields. Right here to fight through storms and surprises. Right here with smarter agronomics, better yield performance, and world-class corn and soybean products, backed by Corteva Agriscience. We'll always be loyal and local, so you, our neighbor, always get the right seed. Learn more at golocal.therightseed.com.
Farmers and ranchers, are you looking to sell your equipment at auction for zero fees and zero commissions? Well, then you need to check out Hayden Outdoors' new online equipment auction platform. You can list your equipment in our monthly online auctions using our easy-to-use platform, and you don't pay any fees or commissions. Visit HaydenOutdoors.com to learn more. That's HaydenOutdoors.com.
Mark your calendars. The Flatlander Fall Festival hits Goodland September 26th and 27th. In Goodland September 26th and 27th. Don't miss it.
All the sports you love, all in one place.
Ooh, this will come in handy.
This is the Morning Blitz.
We're back here on the Morning Blitz, 7:40 Mountain, 8:40 Central Time here on a Thursday. We go to the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline. We're pleased to be joined by our good friend Henry Chisholm of DNVR Broncos. Henry, good morning. How are we doing today?
Oh, not bad. It's a real back to work day. You know, we do the podcast every day, but typically the Broncos practice Wednesdays through Friday, but because of the Monday night game coming up, they had Wednesday off. So back to practice today, which will be a lot of fun, but was kind of nice not to have to go all the way out there yesterday.
Sounds like as if you're not exactly enthused about getting back to work today is what it sounds like a little bit. So,
you know, it's the first practice of the week when you still feel like you're a long way from the game and you're still not quite recovered from the last game. Those are the tough ones. By the time you get to the Friday practice, it's nice and quick, and you're in and you're out. You know exactly what you still need. Wednesday and this week Thursday, I guess, because of the different schedule. That's the big day.
Let's dive right into it, Henry. How surprised are you by this 1-2 start to this point, considering all factors, the schedule, the team, everything?
Wow. I am surprised. I would have guessed 2-1. And to be honest, I probably would have said 3-0 is more likely than 1-2. And that's because I was really, really, really wrong about the Indianapolis Colts. I thought that was the team that the Broncos should probably beat and would probably beat. But that's the beauty of the NFL, is you don't know what each team is until you show up. And there's always a handful of teams that you think are going to be good that turn out to not be good, and a handful of teams where it's the reverse. So knowing now what we know about the Colts, I think it's a little bit different. But, you know, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you're 1-2 and have a little bit of work to do to get back to where you want to be.
It seems like, I guess, how surprised are you that the defense maybe hasn't been, I don't know, the defense to me has been fine. Statistically, it shows it hasn't been maybe as dominant as people thought it would be. I think we all thought maybe the offense had a chance of some struggles just because of a sophomore slump possibly with Bo Nix. But, you know, why has the defense been so average in your opinion?
That's a good question. I think, so statistically, we can start with, you know, week 1 against the Titans. Final score there is 20-12. But I'm pretty sure 9 of the 12 points from the Titans came off a short field because the offense turned the ball over. Special teams gave them a good starting field position. So I think they didn't get much help there. The Colts game is the one where you say, at least I think they really got beat up on. Daniel Jones throws for 300 yards. Jonathan Taylor runs for 160 yards. I think they kind of just got jumped in that game. Even Sean Payton says that game didn't play out the way he thought it would. He thought that was going to be kind of a grinded out, physical field position type of game. And when the Colts show up and just start throwing the ball all over the field, all of a sudden the Broncos are on their heels. They miss 2 or 3 tackles that lead to big plays. I still think there's a little bit of early season flukiness, but the mistakes in that game are the mistakes that are going to really hurt them in the statistic categories. And against the Chargers, you know, they played a pretty good game. I think they played a really good game up until the fourth quarter when they just couldn't get a stop. Those last couple drives from the Chargers, they couldn't get off the field, and that's kind of the sign of a great defense. You know, here in Denver, we remember the no-fly zone defense from the Super Bowl season when, you know, the Broncos offense wasn't doing all that much, but when push came to shove, the defense was going to get off the field in the fourth quarter and essentially win the game for the team. And this year's defense just hasn't been able to close in that way. And really that to me is the difference. You know, the Broncos have not trailed in the fourth quarter yet. As crazy as it sounds, it's a couple of walk-off field goals in the final seconds. It's not like they're that far off from pulling off these wins. And if the defense, which you're trying to lean on this year, just steps up in those final moments, it might be a little bit different vibe in Denver right now.
Henry, what's going on, man? I'm Connor, Ross's new co-host.
Oh, hey, Connor. How's it going?
It's going good, man. So kind of building off the talk about the defense, how big do you think it is in terms of this, I guess, lack of success you could say they've had on that side of the football, that Dre Greenlaw is still on the IR and just not out there for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's big. They were hoping that Dre Greenlaw was going to come in and essentially be a Pro Bowl type linebacker for him. And that hasn't happened. And unfortunately, now Dre Greenlaw is on the injured reserve, and you're not going to see him until week 7 at the very earliest. And even that, just given the struggles he's had with this quad injury that's kind of been off and on since May, I want to say, and the other injuries, you know, even if he does get back, based on his career, can you trust him to be back for more than a few weeks before you lose him again? It's a tough situation to be in. And between him, Tauno Funga, Evan Ingram, and J.K. Dobbins, basically your entire free agency was just these 4 guys who are injury prone. And right now you're down 2 of them with Ingram and Greenlaw, and you've got Dobbins and Ufunga playing really, really well. But I think if you had told me in March that you're down to 2 of the 4 at this point in the season, I wouldn't be too surprised that happened.
Once again, Henry Chisholm is our guest here at DNVR Broncos, joining us on the Hoover Lumber-Ace Hardware Hotline. Let's flip over to the offensive side of the ball. I mean, where were your expectations for this offense heading into the season and where they are at this point in time? How close are they or how far apart are they?
Well, that's another good one. I think I would say that I'm happy with the run game. I'm impressed by the run game. The passing game, not so much. I'll start with the run game. It hasn't been perfect. There are too many runs that get stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage, but they're hitting explosive plays, and they just haven't had explosive runs in years, really. So to see that piece back, I think the bones of the rushing attack are there. It's just finding a way to avoid a couple mistakes, make a couple more blocks, and they'll be potentially really good. You know, J.K. Dobbins right now is on pace for the most rushing yards by Broncos running back since Clinton Portis in 2003. So whatever they're doing is working, and you hope that they can clean a couple more things up. And the passing game is where it's been disappointing. And I think it's one of the things Sean Payton said earlier this week is he doesn't want to overcoach throws that are just bouncing off a guy's fingertips. You know, and that's in regards to those deep balls that Bo Nix missed. There are 3 plays that he could have hit. All 3 of them probably would have led to touchdowns. And if you hit those, then not only do you beat the Chargers, you might beat them and feel like you handled them pretty well. And when the difference is those overthrows that weren't too far off, but were off, it's disappointing. But there's always a level of flukiness with those, and you just have to hope Bo cleans it up. He had a couple issues with turnovers in the past. Those got cleaned up this week. We're still looking to see what exactly this passing attack is, I think. A lot of Cortland Sutton, as you expect. You've seen Troy Franklin get into it a little bit, but didn't see much of him last week. It's just these rotations. And I think having Evan Ingram out last week hurt as well. But this is in the run game, I think you see the identity. In the passing game, you're still really wondering what that is.
Once again, Henry Chisholm is our guest here on the Morning Blitz from DNVR Broncos. Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. I mean, is this about where you thought he would be in year 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's not far off. I think that he threw 9 picks last year, so through 3 games, you would have hoped 1 or 2 instead of 3. But small sample size, early season. It's not time to be worried, but it is just a fact that he is not as sharp as we've seen him. Started slow last year. Started really slow. Didn't throw a touchdown in the first couple weeks of the season. Threw 4 picks in the first couple weeks of the season. Tough for a rookie to get into it. It's a different scenario when you're a year 2 quarterback. But after seeing him bounce back from a slow start last year, I think that's what's giving some people in Denver some hope. Other people are not so hopeful, just to be clear. But yeah, it's been interesting. He looks a little frantic. You see him out there in week 1. He just looks a little too hyped up. You know, a couple too many smelling salts, and he's moving a little bit too quickly, and he's getting down to his check down too fast because he's not waiting to see if his first or second read come open. And last year when it's a rookie and you see that, you say, hey, it's a lot better for a quarterback to going from read 1 to 2 to 3 too fast than a guy who's not able to do it. But at some point you got to slow that down because you're missing out on big plays and instead throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage a little too much. And just to prove that point, 9 of 25 on passes, 10 or more yards downfield. And in the NFL, you just need more than that.
You think it's a little alarming that in year 2, he's kind of regressing to where he's not getting back to that second or third read?
Yeah, I mean, it's the tough part is, again, it's just it's a weird energy from Bo. It's a weird energy. He's hyped up. He's quick to run. He's not setting his feet. He's running in the pocket. He's trying to, it looks like he's trying to throw on the run, even when he doesn't have to. And all of these things he does just makes his job harder. And I think what he really needs is for somebody to say, just relax. Like, please, just please sit on your first read because the guy's coming open. You know, you don't have to worry so much about getting from that first read to the second, to the third. And again, it's credit to him for being able to get through those reads so quickly, because a lot of quarterbacks can't. But that's not how the play is designed. Like if it's a deep corner route, wait to see if the corner route's open before you say we're not throwing this, because otherwise you're not really stressing the defense down the field.
Henry Chisholm continue to be our guest here. When you look at the whole picture of the NFL, I mean, what has stood out to you about these first couple of weeks?
I mean, the Colts.
Yeah,
mentioned them. I think that's a good question. To me, in the AFC, you've got the Ravens and the Bills at the top. The fact that the Chiefs aren't clearly in that top tier is certainly news. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised if we're saying they're right there with the Ravens and Bills in a couple weeks. Expect a little bit more out of the Texans. A couple of those little surprises, but to me, there's kind of that top five right now. Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Chargers, and Colts, in whatever order you want to put them, that look like really good teams, or maybe we're giving the Chiefs a little bit of benefit of the doubt in the AFC. After that, it's kind of wide open. NFC-wise, that's a good question. I mean, the Packers look dominant. The Buccaneers are a really good football team, but that's kind of been the case. They've been a pretty similar team the last couple of years. I think those are the big ones that jump out to me.
He is Henry Chisholm, DNVR Broncos. Henry, it's always great to catch up, my friend. Appreciate the time. We'll do it again soon, okay?
Yep, anytime.
Once again, great stuff there from Henry Chisholm of DNVR Broncos. Good stuff there from him. He wasn't too thrilled to be getting back into the swing of things today on a Thursday, it sounded like initially. But hopefully we got his blood pumping a little bit with some interesting questions, get that mind working for Henry. So, all right, well, let's get to a break. When we come back, we are going to wrap up the show with some local sports, what's on docket for today, and a few other notes as we get to the final 10 minutes of the program next on the Blitz.
Hey, Dr. Rains here from Rains Chiropractic in Goodland. If pain and stiffness are getting in your way, let's fix that. Our goal is simple: help you feel better, move better, and live better. We create personalized treatment plans that get results. Plus, we accept Medicare and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas. Whether it's your back, neck, or just daily discomfort, we're here with advanced techniques and whole body approach to get you back on track. Don't wait. Schedule your appointment today at rainschiropractic.com. Let's start your journey to a healthier, pain-free life.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
It's time to face the truth. Your old bed just isn't working out. It squeaks, it sags, and let's be honest, it's not supporting you anymore. So break up with bad sleep and fall in love with comfort at Goodland Furniture and Sleep Center. Brand new beds, unbeatable prices, financing to fit your budget, and local delivery that makes it easy. So don't settle for a rocky relationship with your mattress. Upgrade today. Sleep better, sit better, and live better with Goodland Furniture and Sleep Center.
Blaine is back at Paradise Spas. Yes, the man, the myth, the hot tub legend has returned. And he's turning up the heat with deals on new and used hot tubs that'll make your backyard the envy of the neighborhood. Buy one now and Blaine will throw in a gas fire pit absolutely free. That's right. Bubbles for your body, flames for your s'mores, all in one sweet package. Paradise Spas. Blaine's back, the tubs are hot, and the deals are on fire.
Craving something delicious? McDonald's has you covered. From hot, fresh breakfast to juicy burgers and crispy fries, there's something for everyone, any time of day. And don't forget to try our classic McCafe coffee or refreshing McFlurry. Visit us in Colby, Goodland, Burlington, and Lamar for fast, friendly service and the flavors you love. Drive through, dine in, or order ahead on the McDonald's app. We'll have it fresh and ready. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
It's the Morning Blitz.
We're having a great time, couple of laughs, everything's nice.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8 Mountain, 8 to 9 Central.
Can you name what movie this song comes on in the very beginning of it?
Oh, don't put me on the spot. Jeez.
Because it's
Yes,
not
I'm
not your typical song, to be honest with you. I mean, I've loved music, but it was a song I really didn't know until I heard it in the movies, I guess.
I'm drawing a blank, Russ.
I believe it was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I should know that.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I figured you probably like Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's
I-
right at the very beginning.
Granted, I only saw it like once. So
okay. That's all right. Still, I don't know. That song always sticks with me, and I love it when it comes on. See, it's a rotating card of songs, and so some songs come on, I'm like, oh yeah, now we're rocking.
Yeah.
Now we're feeling good. All right. Been a fun show so far. Thanks again to Henry Chisholm from DNVR Sports. Before we get out of here, we were talking about the Chiefs a little bit ago. You were talking about the struggles for the Chiefs. They are expected to get Xavier Worthy back, and it looks interesting to see what that looks like on Sunday in his return. He was a full participant in practice on Wednesday, so we'll see what that looks like for them. We talked about the Rockies a little bit early on. They fell to the Mariners. It was a 9-2. Blaine Krim, by the way, first baseman, little short guy for the Rockies. 5th home run in just his 11th game as a Rocky.
Not bad.
Like our good friend Christian Saez from DNVR Rockies, he covers the Rockies for DNVR. He had a great tweet. He said, if Krim had started the season with the Rockies, he'd had 75 homers at this pace or something like that. So
it's always fun to throw out those random rate stats like that.
Yeah. But despite the fact that he had that, the Rocky bats were not good. They were struck out 11 times, 10 by starter Luis Castillo. Rockies hope to avoid a sweep tonight at the hands of the Mariners on KLOE. And the Royals, they lose 3-2. Had a late rally, but it was not enough. Randall Grichuk homered. Carter Jensen scored. They found something in Carter Jensen. I mean, he's had something really good here at the end of the year for the Royals. I was going to look at the standings. Are they actually still alive? They have not officially been eliminated yet, which blows my mind that they have not been eliminated yet. But they would be.
I think they are now that the.
Let's look this up. Are they eliminated? And they are. It is over.
Lost too,
it's over. Yeah. They have been eliminated.
Those Angels, man, they're tricky.
Yeah. Taylor Ward has had a pretty good year. He was on my fantasy baseball team this year.
He's got 36 bombs.
Yeah, he's been good.
That's
been
a good year.
Good year for him. Royals and Angels play again tonight to wrap up that series. Michael Lorenzen on the bump. And of course, don't forget tonight you've got some Thursday night football. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals taking on Sammy D. Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks for Thursday night football on Prime. There is some local sports today too. You have some football tonight. Weskin goes to Western Plains for some 6-man action. Then they will also play in volleyball tonight. Western Plains. They kind of do that. That's how they kind of do it together. They go to to have the crowd. If we're gonna make the trip, let's just go get volleyball and football done on the same night. So they do that tonight. You've got Rollins County hosting a triangle with Trigo and Greeley County. St. Francis heading up north to Dundee County Stratton for some volleyball. And the Goodland Cowgirls are at home. Goodland Cowgirls are at home for their first home matches of the season. They will host Hugoton, Colby, and Ulysses. Now, the Cowgirls will only play Hugoton and Ulysses tonight in a GWAC quad. But we'll have some coverage of that, actually. Right here on Goodland's Rocket 102.5, we'll have coverage of the Goodland Cowgirl matches as they have their first home games of the season. So look forward to seeing 10-2. The Cowgirls are, with a loss to Hoisington, a loss to McCook, but they've looked good, and I'm fascinated. One thing that has stood out to me, was getting ready for the game, and I still have some more prepping to do. But one thing that stood out to me is the reserve receive has been very good for the Cowgirls this year, and their passing has been good. And I know that's something that head coach Angie Brumbaugh harped on all offseason and all this early season, and it looks like it's paid off at this point in time.
It's a key for good volleyball. I mean, stay fundamentally sound, and you're able to set up your offense.
I just always feel like volleyball, if you can just be so good defensively and just continue to keep the ball in play until the other team makes a mistake, you can win a lot.
Oh, absolutely. That's the key. That's how you win.
Yeah, just keep the ball up. If you do that, you'll be fine. Also, there's some cross country today up in Norton. Should be a beautiful day for that. Colby, Golden Plains, Hoxie, Goodland, Oakley, Quinter, Decatur Community, all running there at the Norton Cross Country Invitational. It's a big one. And then we'll see if the Goodland Cowgirls can continue their streak of winning golf tournaments. They're at the Scott City Invitational today with Colby and Oakley as well. So there you go. Your slate of your local sports slate tonight. Once again, we'll have some coverage of Goodland Cowgirl volleyball tonight. We'll be on there around 3 o'clock Mountain Time this afternoon, getting you set for our first serve, which will be at around 3:30 Mountain Time for the Goodland Cowgirls. All right, we got to get to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high, deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on in New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
God, that loss last night for the Diamondbacks really chaps me. Could have won that thing. You would have been tied with the Mets in that final wild card spot. Oh,
Next year.
That's going to come back. Next year. You're on the next year. Chaps me. Oh, my. Anything else come to mind here before we get out of here this morning? Anything I've missed or forgotten about?
Well, just a reminder, Thursday night football tonight, of course, between Arizona and Seattle.
You're not going to watch East Carolina, whatever that is in college football tonight? The Pirates and Army and Pirates. Army and East Carolina.
That's actually, I thought about that as one of my honorable mentions for college football. That could be a fun game because East Carolina's got a good quarterback.
Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Dowdy Ficklin. Yeah. Army. I don't know. I always love watching Army. I love that kind of offense. I know people find it boring. I think it's fascinating.
A lot of good, not playoff baseball, but stuff that feels like playoff baseball tonight as well. So throwing that out there.
The picture's kind of getting set, though. I mean, we kind of know who's there, but there's a few stragglers. Kind of a few stragglers.
Astros, Tigers, Guardians still kind of fighting. Red Sox, too, trying to hold on to their
I mean, we know who's going to be in. They're jockeying for position is the point.
Well,
in the AL it is.
Why not?
The Stros have a game there. They got a little work to do. All right, that does it for the program today. Thanks again to Henry Chisholm. Thanks to you for listening as always. We'll see you back here again tomorrow on a Football Fun Friday. Hope you join us then in 23 hours. It's been the Blitz.